Today we're looking at 7 dividend stocks that I believe have real potential heading into this year. Companies with strong balance sheets, growing cash flow, and a track record of rewarding shareholders. I'll break down the yield, the dividend growth, and why each one deserves a spot on your watch list for 2026. But before we get to the video, if you're new here and you never seen my channel before, my name is Elliot and I upload videos about investing, the stock market, and I do updates on my own portfolio, which is on the Robinhood app. So if that's something you enjoy, please consider subscribing. I upload videos just like this every 2 weeks. Before we jump into the list, let's be clear. I'm not saying you should rush out and buy all 7 of these stocks today. This is about finding high quality dividend payers that can perform well even in a changing economy. Interest rates are expected to stabilize or slightly decline in 2026, which could be great news for dividend investors. When bond yields fall, dividend stocks, especially reliable ones, become a lot more attractive. So with that in mind, let's jump into the first pick. 1. Johnson & Johnson, ticker symbol JNJ. J&J is basically the definition of dividend consistency. They've raised their dividend for 62 straight years. That's more than 6 decades of growth through recessions, inflation, and market crashes. Right now, the yield is around 2.78%, and while that might not sound flashy, it's incredibly stable. Healthcare is a defensive sector, and J&J's focus on pharmaceuticals and medical technology gives it a steady base of growth heading into 2026 and beyond. Looking at the 10-year chart, it's up 87%. Dividend yield, 2.78%. Annual payout, $5.20. Payout ratio, 48.94%. 5-year growth rate, 5.32%. Dividend growth for 62 years. Last announced dividend was $1.30, and they pay their dividend quarterly. 2. PepsiCo, ticker symbol PEP. Pepsi is one of those names that just keeps showing up on every long-term dividend list, and for good reason. They've raised their dividend for over 50 consecutive years, and right now, the yield sits around 4.02%. What's impressive is their ability to keep growing even when consumer spending slows. With strong global brands like Pepsi and Gatorade, Pepsi has pricing power, meaning they can raise prices without losing consumers. That's key for dividend sustainability heading into 2026. Looking at the 10-year chart, it's up 44%. Dividend yield 4.02%. Annual payout $5.69. Payout ratio 70.76%. 5-year growth rate 7.03%. Dividend growth for 52 years. Last announced dividend was $1.42. And they pay their dividend quarterly. 3. Texas Instruments, ticker symbol TXN. This one often flies under the radar, but Texas Instruments is a dividend machine in the semiconductor world. They've raised their dividend for 20 straight years, and right now its yield is around 3.4%. While many chip companies chase flashy AI growth, TXN focuses on analog chips, the backbone of cars, appliances, and industrial systems. Their cash flow discipline is unmatched, and management is committed to returning capital to shareholders. For 2026, that steady, reliable income could make TXN a standout. Looking at the 10-year chart, it's up 187%. Dividend yield 3.52%. Annual payout $5.68. Payout ratio 97.80%. 5-year growth rate 8.13%. Dividend growth for 20 years. Last announced dividend was $1.42, and they pay their dividend quarterly. 4. Realty Income, ticker symbol O. You can't have a dividend list without the monthly dividend company. Realty Income pays dividends every single month, and has done so for over 50 years. Their yield sits around 5.74%, which is higher than most blue chips. As interest rates begin to ease in 2026, REITs like Realty Income could finally breathe again, potentially boosting total returns. This is one of those stocks that you literally feel paying you back every month. Looking at the 10-year chart, it's up 18%. Dividend yield 5.74%. Annual payout $3.23. Payout ratio 75.29%. 5-year growth rate 3.54%. Dividend growth for 31 years. Last announced dividend was 27 cents, and they pay their dividend monthly. 5. AbbVie. AbbVie has been a favorite among dividend investors, and for good reason. Even as the company navigates changes in its product lineup, its earnings remain strong and management has continued to reward shareholders. The yield is around 3.16% and AbbVie's dividend growth has been incredibly solid. If you're looking for both yield and long-term growth potential, AbbVie deserves a serious look for 2026. Looking at the 10-year chart, it's up 265%. Dividend growth, 3.16%. Annual payout, $6.92. Payout ratio, 69.42%. 5-year growth rate, 6.81%. Dividend growth for 12 years. Last announced dividend was $1.73, and they pay their dividend quarterly. 6. Visa, ticker symbol V. Now you might be thinking, Visa? That's not a high yield stock. And you're right. The yield is only around 0.80%. But here's why it makes the list. Visa's dividend growth rate is phenomenal. Over the last 10 years, the dividend has grown by nearly 20% annually. As global digital payments continue to expand, Visa's cash flow should only get stronger. So while the yield is low today, the growth makes it a perfect long-term dividend compounding play. Looking at the 10-year chart, it's up 331%. Dividend yield, 0.80%. Annual payout, $2.68. Payout ratio, 21.27%. 5-year growth rate, 14.48%. Dividend growth for 16 years. Last announced dividend was 67 cents, and they pay their dividend quarterly. 7. Next Era Energy, ticker symbol NEE. Rounding out the list is Next Era Energy, the largest renewable energy utility in the US. They've raised their dividend for 29 straight years, and they're guiding for around 10% annual growth in that dividend through 2026. That combination of clean energy exposure and consistent income makes NEE one of the most exciting utility stocks to hold long term. With the shift towards renewables accelerating, this could be one of the most future-proof dividend plays out there. Looking at the 10-year chart, it's up 226%. Dividend yield, 2.76%. Annual payout, $2.27. Payout ratio, 59.85%. 5-year growth rate, 10.20%. Dividend growth for 29 years. Last announced dividend was 57 cents, and they pay their dividend quarterly. So let's recap the 7 dividend stocks for 2026. Johnson & Johnson, PepsiCo, Texas Instruments, Realty Income, AbbVie, Visa, Next Era Energy. These aren't hype plays. They're the kind of companies that quietly build wealth over time. If you reinvest the dividends, stay consistent, and think long term, you'll be shocked at how fast your portfolio can grow. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments below. Which dividend stock was your favorite? And we'll see you next time.